That was 2011, 2012.
Right.
And the book was born out of these experiences.
So I started asking myself the question, where does trust and cooperation come from? I kept meeting people who would sacrifice their lives to save the lives of people they don't even like. Where does that come from? In business, we don't even like to give up credit for things. Right? I joke all the time that in the military, they give medals to people who are willing to sacrifice themselves that others may gain. In business, we give bonuses to people who are willing to sacrifice others so that we may gain. It's backwards. It's backwards, right? And so it was a very simple question. I just wanted to know where people like that came from, because I wanted to be around people like that. And I'm not in the military. And I thought it was the people. I thought they're just better people. That was my original conclusion. And so the more I started to learn and investigate, the more I realized it's not the people, it's the environment. If you get the environment right, trust and cooperation is what happens. If you get the environment wrong, cynicism, paranoia, mistrust, and self-interest prevail. But who sets the environment? Leaders. And so when you look at some investment banks and the lack of trust and the lack of cooperation, the backstabbing, it's not the people. They're not bad people. They're incredibly badly led. And the environments are terribly poorly built.
The compensation structures are...
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Right? The environments that the leaders pitting guys against each other because they think it's good for... No, it's not. Right? It's unbelievably destructive to the human beings. Those people now treat each other badly. They treat their spouses badly. They treat their kids badly. They treat their friends badly. They treat themselves badly. You know? There's no good. There's no good that comes out of that model. Short-term gains is all you get out of it, but at what expense?
I'm still living the hangover of that.
Yeah. So that's where Leaders Eat Last came from. Leaders Eat Last came from the next stage of my journey. I understood the concept of purpose. And what I didn't understand was once you had the purpose, how can you make sure that you trust and cooperate with others who share your purpose? And that's how that came about.
There's a quote, I think it's from the book, and I believe you said, quote, "The whole purpose of maintaining the circle of safety is so that we can invest all of our time and energy to guard against the dangers outside. It's the same reason we lock our doors at night." Is that this idea that we don't have to fight against each other?
Right.
Okay.
So when there is a sense of psychological safety inside the organization, we then will cooperate, align our talents to face the dangers outside the organization and seize the opportunities, right? Because there are plenty of outside dangers. An unpredictable economy, the ups and downs of the stock market, your competition that's sometimes trying to put you out of business, trying to literally kill you, you know? And if you're too worried about fighting against each other, protecting yourselves from each other, you're exposing yourself to external danger. But when there's a sense of psychological safety inside the organization, we don't actually fear our colleagues, we don't fear our bosses. Our bosses trust us to get our jobs done. They train us and then let us go and give us opportunities. Then the natural human response, the biological and anthropological reaction to those conditions is trust and cooperation. Remember, trust is a feeling. You can't demand that someone trusts you. You just can't do that. It's a feeling. It's what it is. So is cooperation. It's a feeling. And so when there's a lack of psychological safety inside the organization, what happens is cynicism, paranoia, mistrust and self-interest prevail, and ultimately it weakens the company. The cracks will show. The cracks will show. $300 billion bailout. The cracks will show. So that's what that means.
And some of the other things you talk about in the book are autonomy, very important, giving that environment, which you just talked about, and you really go into kind of that empowerment. And a lot of that you first saw in the military, and then you saw it in well-led organizations.
Okay. I saw that the military was not unique. If you looked at the best-led organizations in private sector, they looked exactly the same.
Okay.
The conditions were the same, the leadership was the same, and the people were the same.
Do you know a gentleman by the name of Jocko Willink? He has a book called Extreme Ownership. He's a former U.S. Navy SEAL, and he was here a few weeks ago in that chair. And he talks about a lot of the same things you do. You know, he was in the Battle of Ramadi in 2006, and he's like, "Brian, people think that my soldiers do what I say." He's like, "They don't. No. They respond to leadership." And we really have this misperception in the civilian world that these guys are robots.
Correct. Yeah. And the more elite the troops, the more autonomy they have. So SEALs are a great example. Highly, highly, highly elite troops. SEALs plan their own missions. They're told the objective, and that's it. That's all they're told. Right. And they plan their own missions themselves. That's unbelievable autonomy. They don't have a group of... There's no bureaucracy that plans their missions, and they're just these drones that go and execute. It's not what happens. They're unbelievably smart. some of the smartest guys I ever met were in the SEALs.
To watch the rest of this fascinating interview, click on the link below and go to londonrealacademy.com. There you can sign in with your social media login and watch the rest of the episode for free, along with all of our episodes on London Real, my webinars, and all of our premium content, all located over at londonrealacademy.com. So click on the link below. You'll be directed there and you can watch the rest of this fascinating interview, and I'll see you there.